Intermittent fasting, what is it? What's all the buzz about it? And also, what are some practical steps that you can take today in order to get started? All of that coming up. Intermittent fasting is a nutritional strategy where sometimes you eat and sometimes you don't. You're intermittently entering into a fasted state throughout the day or throughout the week. The most common form of this today is called time-restricted feeding, and there's two versions of this. There's the 16-8 method, where you're fasting for 16 hours and you're eating for 8 hours, and there's the 24 method, where you're fasting for 20 hours and you're eating for 4 hours. You're basically determining what portion of the day you get to eat and which portion of the day that you don't. Okay, so that sounds pretty simple. There's nothing too crazy about it. So why is it such a popular way of eating today, and what's all the buzz about it? Number one is that there are fat loss benefits to intermittent fasting. If you're to do it in the way that it's intended to be done, then you're going to be eating less throughout the day. However, this heavily depends on how you behave during your eating periods. So let's say that you're doing the 16-8 fasting method, and in those 8 hours that you do get to eat, you're eating excessively over the normal amount that you usually would eat. In that case, you're not going to be seeing much of a fat loss benefit at all. There hasn't been any evidence showing that there's fat loss properties that are unique specifically to eating within these time windows. Most of these fat loss benefits are coming from the fact that someone is restricting or eating less calories because they have less chances to eat during the day if they're following this intermittent fasting protocol. Even though this is the case, having structured times for when you can eat and when you can't eat can really help people in their eating behaviors, therefore contributing to some of their fat loss results. Number two is that fasting has shown that it can slow down the effects of aging. And it's able to do this because it slows down the deterioration of cells within our body, and it can also enhance the cleanup of dead cells within our body. There's evidence showing that fasting can help in cell turnover, making sure that cells that are programmed to die are actually dying and that they can be flushed out of the system. That way, they don't overstay their welcome and cause problems. These aging benefits may have more to do with the fact that someone is eating less calories overall, eating less food throughout the day, rather than them fasting for 16 hours or 20 hours. The jury is still out, and there's still more research that needs to be done on this. Number three is that fasting has shown evidence that it may be able to reduce the risk of cancer, also reduce the risk of diabetes, as well as be able to improve brain and heart health. I'll go more into these specific benefits in my upcoming intermittent fasting pros and cons videos, so be on the lookout for that. I do want to mention that a good portion of the studies done on intermittent fasting are done on rodents and animals, so we don't know if the benefits from these studies can transfer over directly to humans. So the jury's still out on intermittent fasting. However, people have seen benefits in implementing this style of eating, and if it's something that you're interested in, then give it a try as well. And I'll go over some practical steps on how you can get started with intermittent fasting today. My first tip is to ease into it and see how you deal and how you handle with hunger. What you can do is try skipping a meal first, or try delaying a meal that you would normally eat. So if you were to eat lunch at 12, try delaying that meal over to 2. Or if you usually have breakfast, you can try skipping breakfast and see how you handle the hunger. This is really important because if you find out that you get really hungry during the fast and you overeat a lot of food during your eating windows, then you're basically canceling out all the benefits of fasting. It's not out of question that someone would be able to gain weight and put on fat even if they were intermittent fasting, because if they're eating more than they normally would during that 8-hour window, then they're going to put on body fat. That's why it's important to see how you react to hunger, if you can deal with it, if you can handle it, and if you see that you can, then intermittent fasting might be a good option for you. If you find that you can delay a meal or skip a meal without going crazy or without getting extremely hungry, and also if you find that you can do that without overcompensating for it later on in the day by overeating in your later meals, then my second tip for you is to try fasting for 12 hours straight. Set up a day where you eat your last meal at 8 p.m., and then you don't eat again the next morning at 8 a.m. And if you're able to do that without any major troubles or major complications, then try to fast for 16 hours straight and go into the 16-8 model of intermittent fasting. The main point is to ease yourself into it, see how your body, your mind, and your emotions react to not eating for long periods of time. If you find that you can do it, then great. Try out intermittent fasting and see if it provides a good benefit to you. And if you find that you are getting really hungry while trying to do this, you find that you can't really handle those long periods of fasting, then you can try out a different method of doing this. All right, here it is. Eat only when you're hungry. Get rid of all the time rules pertaining to food, as in you've got to eat breakfast during the morning, lunch during the afternoon, and dinner at night. You're going to eat according to when your body feels hungry. So if you feel hungry only twice during the day, then you only have 2 meals. If you don't feel hungry in the morning, but you feel really hungry in the afternoon, then you eat a big meal during the afternoon. You honor your hunger instead of eating according to the clock. Last thing that I want to mention is that if your overall goal is to lose weight, then you're still going to have to eat less calories than you burn. And if intermittent fasting provides you with the type of structure that you need in order to achieve that type of calorie deficit, then perfect. Go for it and see if it's going to work out for you, your lifestyle, and your preferences. So if you have any questions on anything that I've stated in this video so far, make sure to leave those questions in the comments down below. If you found this content to be helpful, if you found value out of anything that I said so far, then please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel for more tips and content just like this, and also check out more videos on the next screen, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.